You always like to try to predict the best you can how to be prepared for a disaster, whether that's a tornado, flooding, whatever affects your community. You want to make sure you have the capacity to handle it and to be able to know those unanswered questions before it happens. Most people remember we had a major tornado event back in 2011. It was chaos, and so we went through that scenario of response and recovery. Then a few years ago, the NCORP team approached us and they wanted to base at least a tornado experience of what occurred in Joplin to help improve their model. So we agreed to participate in that. I'm very encouraged and optimistic this will be a great tool for Joplin.
So NCORP is a platform that allows people to model the impact of the natural hazard happen to a certain community. It's open source. Open source meaning anyone can come and investigate. And then secondly, I would say NCORP works with a lot of popular data format, like tabular format. If you have like geospatial data like shapefile or raster file, we can accommodate that. We're using Python, so we can actually leverage a lot of existing Python frameworks. The most important part, I would say, that differentiates NCORP with other models is each of the analysis, they are interconnected.
Our models, starting with the physical building damage model, has to be connected and speaking, in a way, to the electrical power that comes to that building, to the roads that connect to that building for accessibility, to the housing features, and all of those were brought into NCORP. So if you want to sort of imagine what NCORP is, it's a platform where you have all of these algorithms for a whole community that predict the anticipated impacts of a given hazard scenario. But also we give them a chance to quantitatively see how much of a bang for the buck they will get if they make mitigation decision investment. We can tell you how much that's going to save you in terms of building damage, how much that's going to save you in terms of population dislocation, employment losses, a few other metrics.
NCORP work very closely with cutting-edge researchers and their postdocs, their students. There is this companionship between an academic peer-reviewed publication and the modeling, the software building process.
You know, I'm not a technician, I'm not a software engineer, but what I've seen so far, I'm impressed. We probably spent several months in our response and recovery just assessing damage, trying to determine our needs, and anytime you can save several months doing that, the use of this program, that's a benefit. It's been a great team. We've had one-on-one conversations, had people fly in from all over the country just to help us perfect this model. As long as people know you're more prepared for the next event, because it will happen, but when people know that the city is prepared, they are prepared for the next disaster, there's a more comfortability of living in this community.